Okay, the bar run, the most simple indicator on the market. Welcome to the workshop. It is 3 p.m., so we're going to get started. All right, at the end of this workshop, you're going to know the secret sauce behind one of our most powerful tools. It's one of them that we use for our signals. So let's just get right into it. Oh, also at the end of this workshop, I'm going to give you a free copy of our probability tool suite as a thank you for attending. I'm doing a little promotion this week, just giving it out to people to try out. And we'll get to that at the end of the workshop here. Okay, the risk of loss trading any financial instrument such as Forex or binary options can be substantial. You must be aware and willing to accept those risks in order to invest. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. This is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell any financial interest. No representation is being made that any account is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to the ones discussed here. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any strategies discussed are for educational purposes only and are not to be construed as specific trading advice. This material is for educational purposes only. All right, TraderBot Marketplace is not affiliated with Cantor Exchange. Hey, Todd, I've not seen you in a while. Hey, buddy. Okay, topics to be discussed today. How simple is the bar run? How can you apply it even without our software? And does it work for CFTC regulated binary options exchanges? Okay, so guys, which one of these charts looks real? Look at the chart on the left and look at the chart on the right. Can you tell which one is a real chart? If you said the chart on the right, you're correct, because the chart on the left, how many times have you seen all these down bars without a pullback? How many times? Not very often. It does happen, but it's the probability of the left chart happening is usually about 99.99% that it's not going to happen. They do happen from time to time, but I checked last night. The Euro USD, I think it's happened like, I think it's went to 15 bars in a row, like 15 red bars in a row, only once in the past year, something like that. But we'll get into that more. Were you able to count the bars? Didn't the first chart seem a little bit fake? That's because it was. I made it. I just screenshotted some stuff and made a fake chart for you. How many times have you seen, let's say, 20 bars in the same direction without an opposing bar somewhere in the middle? Well, not very often. You know, it doesn't happen but once in a blue moon. I've never seen a blue moon, but I can prove it. If you can count to 3, then you'll be able to understand and use the information we're going to talk about today. So start counting. Let's all count to 3 together like a kindergarten class. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so look at these bars over here. You see these 3 bars, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 consecutive, and I want you to remember that, consecutive. 3 consecutive red bars. Now, how many consecutive green bars are right here? 1, 2, 3. You can count those. Were you able to count them? I hope so. Now, pretend that you're in a trade and you want to place a buy order after, let's say, 3 consecutive red bars. Maybe you think that after 3 consecutive bars, price may change and go in the opposite direction. But how do you know if this is a good trade or not? How often does a 3-bar reversal, that's what we'll call it, that's what the industry calls it, how often does a 3-bar reversal occur? What times are best? What days are best? Should I wait for expiry or should I take profit? Can these be taken ATM, ITM, or even OTM? These are questions that you're going to need to know, so let's get started answering these. So, how often does a 3-bar reversal work? Let's pretend that we're going long only. And the reason we're going to do long only is because if you're trading binaries and you're using the tool suite, you have a little bit more of an advantage by going long only, especially on the shorter time frames. So we're going to go long only on a 1-hour bar only. So let's look here. You see these 3 red bars, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 red bars, and on the next one it reversed and expired up. Well, and I've got a W right here. That's because that after the 3 bars happened, it spit out a signal, which is right here. You can tell by the arrow. And this area right here is within 5 pips of the open of the bar. So if the open of the bar, I can't read it right now, but let's say the open of the bar was at 117.25 or 117.30. This bar right here is at 117.25. It's within 5 pips. It closes in the money 62% of the time, and we know this, and I'll get more into that later. But you can count 1, 2, 3, and the next one is a winner. Again, 1, 2, 3, and the next one is a winner. This one is a loser. It closed down. It did not close up. We've got an up arrow, so it was a loser because it closed down, and the next one was a winner. Now, based upon these 4 trades, there's a 75% probability, but you can't do anything with 4 trades. Over here, we're looking at the past 423 trades, which you can look at probabilities from that perspective. So let's get on to the next slide. And by the way, if you're just lost during this presentation, shoot a little something in the chat box to let me know. Okay, so the ITM win rate for the closest available strike on Cantor Exchange, and that's who we're going to talk about today, is 62%. It expired profitable a total of 13 consecutive times in a row and lost only 5 times in a row. Let's go take a look at that again and see what I'm talking about. Right here you can see the number 13, and right here you can see the number 5. That means that out of the past 423 signals that it has fired off, it has won a max consecutive run, or it's won 13 times in a row when this has happened. How many times did it lose in a row? 5. Only 5 times did it lose in a row. Like, let's say this signal was a loser, that's a loser, that's a loser, and that's a loser. So it did that 5 times somewhere within the past 423 signals that it fired off. So what if I try to change the parameters? I only want to look at trades between, let's say, 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern, because I don't trade 24 hours a day. Well, I just skipped ahead here. We don't trade 24 hours a day. So when I put a filter on it, the probabilities actually go down. They go from 63 or whatever it was down to 55%. Well, that's no good. See this 55% right here? So this setup only wins 55% of the time when traded from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we know that something is off there. We don't want to really trade that right now. So if the probabilities go down during this time, how can I get great probabilities? Well, if you're looking at a 3-bar run, try to look for a 4-bar or a 5-bar run instead. By changing to a 5-bar run, we up the probabilities to about 75% with only 3 consecutive losses over the same period. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. I just hung up on whoever called me. I apologize. The amount of signals, however, the amount of signals generated, however, goes down. Now, it's a funny thing with, hang on, I turned my phone off. It's a funny thing with the tool suite, or with any signal for that matter. When the probabilities are extremely high, you've got a lower number of signals. And when the probabilities are lower, signals come all over the place. So you have to be careful to pick and choose. What if you changed your asset and your expiry? What would happen? Well, let's look at the USD yen. If a signal occurs between 9 a.m. and noon Eastern, you have an 84% probability of price expiring above the first level ITM. That's a 5-bar run we're talking about. Now, why is this? Why did it have a lower probability on the Euro USD and a higher probability on the USD yen? Well, that's because currencies move differently. On certain currency pairs, you're going to have a higher probability. On other pairs, maybe they don't move as much. You're going to have a lower probability. For instance, I suspect that if we were looking at the Euro USD and, let's say, the pound USD, the Euro USD would have a higher ITM win rate because it doesn't move as much. The pound moves more than the Euro USD. So if it moves more, it's going to close down or close outside of an ITM area more often, depending on what you're looking at. But wait, there's more. since you're attending today's workshop, I'm going to give you the probability tool suite for free just for attending. It's the same version I use. It just expires at the end of the month, and you can go take a look at that. I'll post that in here at the end. Now let's go to Cantor Exchange trading platform and look at some live charts. How did I get out of here? There we go. Let me get out of here. Okay, we're looking at a chart right here. Let me go over here to the tool suite. I'm going to split the screen right now. I'm going to go to Euro USD. And I'm going to split the screen. I'm going to put the tool suite on one side and Cantor Exchange on the other. Now what I need to do right now, I'm going to change this to a bar run. We're going to be looking at different bar runs for like an hourly expiry. We're going to be looking at long only, and we're going to be looking from 16 to 22, which is 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. because the times are different on MT4. You have to go with a different time frame. So let me go down here and click on bar run. We're going to be starting with a 3-bar run. Now, if you look on here, I got to go to an hourly time frame, sorry. If you look on here, you're not going to see very many right here. I got to get it on Cantor Exchange strikes. 1 second. I'm putting them on 5 pips wide to match the Cantor Exchange strikes. Okay, so right now we've got 123 signals that have fired off. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, here's the first signal. It is a loser, Euro USD. And you can see it's got 1, 2, 3 bars, and then on the next bar, it fired off a signal. Now that signal was a loser. However, what was the win rate for the first level, the first strike, the first ITM strike that you can find? Well, it's 55%. It's not very good at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down through some different assets here. We're going to go to Australia US dollar. Let's go take a look at that. Australia US dollar, is it any better? A 3-bar run. No, it's not much better. It's about 56%. Let's go to USD yen. Is that any better? Well, let's go on over to USD yen and take a look. Okay, that one's a little better. It's a 58% probability. Still not too good. Now, we've looked at 3. We've not got any great results out of 3, because if they end up profitable only 58% of the time, and I'm taking an ITM trade, that's not good enough for me. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to change the tool suite to a 4-bar run. We're just going to be looking at 4 bars in a row, and the probabilities go down. Right now we're looking at 58 trades overall. The ITM win rate just went up. Now I know that if the USD yen gets 4 bars in a row to the downside, it's going to fire off a signal. How often is that signal, or how often is the signal profitable? How often does price expire above the strike that is shown? 65% of the time. And we know this. We know that throughout the past 58 signals, it's won a total of 7 consecutive times in a row. Hang on, Kurt, I'll get to your question. It's won a total of 7 consecutive times in a row and lost a total of 4 consecutive times in a row. I have a question here from Kurt. What's the difference between the probability tool suite and what I currently use? What do you currently use? Kurt, I don't know what you're using. The tools, what's the difference between the probability tool suite and the probability tools? I don't understand your question, buddy. What we're looking at here is the same exact thing that you have. Anyhow, while you're answering that, I will continue. So we've got a 65% of the time, price is going to close up from this strike down here. Hang on 1 second, guys, 1 second. That is my niece in the next room making noise. So I beat on the wall to tell her to be quiet. Okay, so let's look at a 5-bar run. We're going to look at a 5-bar. How often, if you get 5 bars in a row, how often is price going to close up? Let's go in here and change it to 5. Now we've got a 68% probability. It's only fired off 25 times over the past, over the data that I have. By the way, I'm gonna pause right now, and I wanna show you this little tidbit. Type this into your browser. histdata.com. Type it in there. Go to download free Forex data. If you need any more data for your MT4, you can get it all the way back to the year 2000 here. Just about any pair you want, just click on it, download. I'm not going into how to install it into your MT4 right now, but it's got all that data. So if you need more data than what's showing up on your platform, you can get that. Now, let's go to the Cantor Exchange platform here. I'm going to zoom in. Now, we're just going to look. We're going to look for 3 down bars, or I mean, five down bars here. Can we find 5 down bars? We're just going to count. Here's how you do it without the tool suite. There's 5 up bars. We'll look at that shortly, but we're looking for 5 down bars right now. And here's one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does everybody see that? We're on the wrong one. We're on 1 minute. Now we're on hourly. Let's look for 5 down bars. Okay, 5 down bars. 1, 2, 3. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down bars, and then there's an up bar right there. To answer Kurt's question, Kurt, there is an upgrade. I'll show you what it is in a minute. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down bars. What's the probability that that the next bar is going to enter above the next ITM strike, which would be right about here? There is your next available strike. Let me make it a little bit bigger. What's the probability that after you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what's the probability that it's going to close up on the next bar? 68%. The next bar closed up. Now, here's 5 more in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the probability it's going to close above this, or actually it was above this strike here? It's still 68%, but guess what? This one lost. And even if you don't have the tool suite, you can do this manually. You can just go back there. Anybody can count to 5. I asked you to count to 3, but now you can count to 5. Go back here. 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just making sure the next bar was up. It doesn't matter if it moves a half a tick or 140,000 pips, as long as it expires above the line, which it did, and you can see it here. As long as it expires up, then you're good. So now we're going to go a little bit further. I'm going to go to Euro USD for a minute because I have a little bit more data. We're going to look at things like how far it moves. If we have 5 bars down, how far, or let's go back to Euro Yen, or USD Yen, sorry. It's got a 92% probability of touching. Now put it on touch mode. You can see that here. I put it on touch mode. It's got a 92% probability of touching the next strike down and a 96% probability of touching the next strike up. What does this mean? This means that 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go to the one that lost because that's a better example. And we're going to open it up a little bit. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the next strike, it's got a 92% probability of closing or of touching the next strike down and a 92% probability of touching the next strike up. So in this scenario, it did close down. How can you trade it if we use touch mode? Well, you can take profit. You can buy or sell at 50 and get out at 80 or 90 if there's liquidity available, and you can get out of the trade. So you can use touch mode for that. Let's look at another one. How often does it close, let's say, inside of 2 strikes? Well, let's see, dual expiry. If it moves 5 bars down, how often will it close either below the next available strike up or above the next available strike down? How often does that happen? Hang on a second. Let me find one here. Let me scroll back. There's one. Okay, 32% of the time, it's going to close. We'll take a picture of it. It's going to close below this strike and above this strike in the middle. It's if you want to call it a butterfly, I don't care what you call it. But 32% of the time it closes inside of there. So what does that tell me? It tells me that 68% of the time it does not. It closes above or below one of the 2 strikes. These are on an hourly chart now. So if I know that 68% of the time it's going to close above or below one of the strikes, that helps me in my decision making. And you know, the next one it did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it kept on going down for another 5 pips or so. So without using the tool suite, here's how you do it. You get out a pencil and paper. You count every time you see 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, whatever in a row. You count them, you mark them on your chart, whether you want to, you know, draw a vertical line here. You can draw a vertical line there. You can draw another one on the next one you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or no, that's only 4, so that one does not count. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can draw another line right there, and you can go through here, and you can just start manually calculating and manually adding these up. Now, when you do that, get your notebook. Use that notebook only for whatever it is you're doing. And once you've got about 20, 30, 40, 50 trades in there, you'll know how often they're winners and losers. And if you have, let's say you do 100 signals, and 50 are winners and 50 are losers, then what is this? This is a 50% probability that whatever that you came up with is going to happen. So you can do it manually. You know, if 80 are winners and 20 are losers, then you've got an 80% probability that's going to happen over the time frame that you're looking at. Probabilities are like trend following. It's relative to the chart that you're looking at. If you look back over the past 20 trades, probability is going to be a certain amount. And if you look back over the past 400 trades, the probability is going to change because you know, as the market moves up and down, strategies begin working again or stop working. No strategy is going to remain profitable 100% of the time until the end of time. It just does not happen. So you can go in there and manually calculate this with a pencil and paper. Me, I like to use Tool Suite because, oh dear Lord, it's just so much more time effective for me to do that. Like if I want, right now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to look at all kinds of things. I'm going to go look at expiries, and let's say I want to go look at a at the tool suite, and I only want to look on Wednesdays. How profitable is this strategy on Wednesdays? Well, I know right now, oh, look, 100% profitable. However, it's only over the past 3 trades, so that's not good. Can't do anything off 3 trades. But I do know that the past 3 times that it's fired off on Wednesday, it has had a 100% win rate. Well, let's look at Fridays. Like, I don't know, non-farm payroll days. Let's look at that. This is off a 5-bar run. What? 100% profitable on Fridays too? But again, it's only on the past 5, it's only fired off 5 times. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get more trades in here. I can do that one of 2 ways. I can download more data, which will slow my MT4 down, but I do it sometimes and then I'll take it off. I'm just going to look at a 1-bar run. Now, what is a 1-bar run? A 1-bar run is when you see only 1 bar in the opposite direction. Like you've got all these bars here. This green one at the close of the green bar, that will fire off a 1-bar run. And then in the very next bar, let's see what happens. And this is on Fridays. On Fridays, we got a 60% probability. Let's go back to Wednesdays. Same thing, 60. We're going to go through here and check other days just to make sure that one day does not stand out. Mondays are slightly not great. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesdays are a little bit better. And then now let's check Thursday because we haven't checked that one yet. Okay, so on this scenario, Thursdays are a little bit better. Are you following me so far? If you're following what I'm saying, let me know. If you're just totally lost, let me know that as well. And we're going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes. I just wanted to give you an idea on you know, what the bar run is. Now, how profitable is it? Well, I'm going to show you how profitable it is. Oh, now you have to take what I'm getting ready to show you kind of with a grain of salt, because the vast majority, 85% of these are using bar run. But some of them do use other indicators. So here are the binary options signals results on whether it closed up or closed down. Now, you can see right here that it stops working after a while. Here, 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 and I have to go back in and reevaluate and redo it. So we do that quite often, but the vast majority of these are bar run. And you can see right here, bar run. Let me go to the more recent ones, because on the more recent ones, there are bar runs. Okay, let's see, where are we at here? Okay, I took them out. I can't see which ones are bar run right now, but that's okay. But they are profitable, and you can see that right there. I'm going to get a sip of my coffee, 1 second. I do apologize for slurping. Now, let's look at this little run right here. This happened on October the 18th. Now, this is going short. We're going to look at short in both ways now. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 bars in a row. How often does that happen? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here to the tool suite. We are going to go long and short. We're going to look at every hour of the day. I want to find out exactly how often this has happened over the past year. We're going to go at bar run, what did we say, 13? 13, let me see. Oh, don't worry about that 10. I've already got it set on 5 pips, never mind. We're going to be looking at every day of the week. And I go Sunday through Saturday because it's not going to fire off on Saturday. It will, however, fire off on Sunday night when the market opens. So, and we're going to look at expiries and a 13 bar run, 13 bar run. How often has that happened in the past year? 1 time. 1 time has it happened all year, all the way back since September of 2016. So about a year and 2 months, about 14 months, and it's happened 1 time. What happened when it did happen that 1 time? Well, it won, of course, because I looked at it. you know, and I know it won, but it's only happened one time. So bars don't move in a direct line. They're not red for consecutive, you know, 20, 40, 70 bars in a row. That does not happen. Anyhow, okay, do you understand the bar run indicator? Do you understand how you can use it without the tool suite and come up with probabilities on your own? If you don't, let me know, because I will work on that with you. If you do, then I'm gonna give everybody the tool suite here. Hang on just a second. Let me upload it to a Google Drive and I'll give you the address right now. I think it might be in there. Hang on. No, it's not. So let me do that right now. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. Let me get this loaded here. Almost done. Okay, copy link. I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay, go grab it. It's in the chat now. And tell me if you were able to download it, or if you were not able to download it. You should be able to download it if you click on that link in the chat. There's a guy in here, CC Williams. Oh my gosh, dude. You shared a, I think it was you that shared that picture of how not to trade. I think it was you. I'm not sure, but he shares some of the most hilarious content on Facebook. I do appreciate your posts there, Mr. Williams. Okay, so that is the webinar today. I will stick around if you have any questions about this or anything else. Let me know if you can't get that tool suite file. Okay, Kurt, so your trade will be how long if you take the signal? Oh, okay, here, let's do this. Let's get back here to, instead of a 13 bar run, let's go back to, where are we at here? Let's go back to, say, a 5 bar run. Okay, so how long will your trade be? Since these are hourly bars, see this H1, these are all hourly bars. So they open at the, they fire off the signal at the open of the bar, and at the close of the bar, which is 1 hour later, it expires. If we're looking to take, let's say, a 2-hour trade, we can go down here. You can do it like this. You can do a 1 hour trade, which will show you the same thing that you're seeing here. Or you can do a 2-hour trade. I'm going to get rid of this one. It's throwing me off right now. Or you can do a 2-hour trade. You see how the bars widened a little bit? You see how the probabilities changed a little bit? You can trade for 2 hours out. You can trade for, you know, 3 p.m. expiries, 4 p.m. expiries. Actually, there's a 4 p.m. expiry, so if we wanted to choose a 4 p.m. expiry, we could do that, and the probabilities are here. So, however, wherever the edge is the bar that it expires upon. Yeah, so whatever your expiry is correlates with your trade. So, you know, if I'm doing a 3 p.m. expiry, here are my probabilities. If I'm doing just a 1 hour expiry, and this is how I can visualize it too. 1 hour expiry. This is what it looks like, because if you'll look, you can see that wherever you can draw a line straight down through this bar, and this is the bar that it expires on. The candle's going to show you on what bar it opens, and if you draw a line down through here, let me draw a little line down through there. You draw a line straight down, wherever that line is, on whatever candle it is what bar it expires on. So this expires on that bar, and if I go out a little bit further, I don't know, let's just go here. Then I know that the trade is going to expire on this blue bar right here. Just draw a line straight down, going to expire right there. And this expired, you know, way down here, so it's profitable. You know, hypothetically, I didn't take that trade. I'm just, you know, using that as an example. Now, when you are taking when you're taking trades, you're not going to be able to see all this. What you're going to be able to see is like the trade that you're on, but you're not going to be able to see any of this because it hasn't happened yet. So, you know, the last bar you're going to be able to see right now is the current bar that you are in. Got it? Cool. All right. Hang on. You didn't get the link in the chat? Hang on a second. So you can't scroll up and see this link right here. You can't see that. And if anybody's watching this on YouTube, you can copy this link. I don't care. Just copy the link and download it.